If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Maura Murray, please contact the New Hampshire Cold Case Unit at 603 271 2663 or email them at coldcaseunit@dos.nh.gov or contact the family at www.mauramurraymissing.org or contact them by email at mauramurrayfamilydirect@gmail.com. Of course, links will be provided below. Hello, this is Rick and this is Burn After Reading. I'm going to keep it short. I just wanted to share some updates and share what's currently been on my mind lately. Some suggestions on the do's and don'ts on how we should conduct ourselves in this community. And I know there's going to be some people who are going to love that. Anyways, let's get started. As most, if not all of you, already know, bone fragments were discovered by construction workers near the Loon Mountain area in Lincoln, New Hampshire. Law enforcement have recovered the remains and testing is currently underway. From the time recovered, which was about a month ago, it will take 2 months or possibly longer before completed. However, we need to consider the possibility that even once concluded, the general public may not get answers for a while. So please be respectful and don't push for answers. When it's time for answers, believe me, you'll know. We won't have to ask. In addition, a ground search is currently underway, and it's not related to the Loon Mountain area. A tip was submitted a while back, and it was considered worthy to take a look. It's in an undisclosed location. So far, a black Nike shoe was recovered and is being looked at for further analysis. So who knows? Could just be a random shoe out there, or it could mean something. Like I said, just stay tuned. For those searching in that area and for those who made it possible, I want to thank you for your efforts and for showing that kind of dedication. That goes to anyone and everyone who has ever helped in these kind of searches. You know, whether anything comes from either situation, discovery is desperately needed to bring closure to the family and hopefully in time justice. But there's no happy ending here. I mean, always consider that as you follow the unfortunate disappearance of Maura Murray, just make sure you show support, be respectful, and govern whatever theory you have accordingly. You know, keep in mind this isn't a game of Clue, so don't treat it as such. If you truly think you've stumbled on something, please submit your findings to law enforcement and the family. That's what you should do. Now, having said that, here are my thoughts on what you shouldn't do. Just suggestions. Number 1. Go on Twitter or Reddit accusing people by name of having something to do with Maura's disappearance when you have zero evidence. But, you don't like the person in question, so you do so anyway. Please understand that that is conjecture, that is not evidence. Pretty simple, right? All right, let's move on to number 2. Create a spam email chain, including but not limited to well-known people in the Maura Murray community, such as the family, podcasters, authors, journalists, law enforcement, social media followers, advocates, etc., so that you can post what people are writing about on social media that you don't like, and then ask that question why they're not in jail and overusing the word lunatic to describe them. It just looks ugly. It's not a good thing to do. So maybe don't do that. Okay? Let's move on to number 3. Create a blog asking who Maura Murray was communicating with via AOL Instant Messenger. The matter was handled by Julie, Maura's sister. Last thing we need in this toxic, very toxic community is more people doxxed and harassed and used for kindling on social media speculation fire. Also, don't use a source who is either lying or doesn't know what they're talking about. In the same blog, Aaron Larkin tends to come up quite often and never in a positive light. Since it's Halloween season, I'll use the analogy that she is to be perceived as the blogger's monster under the bed or closet, the real life female version of Michael Myers, and maybe the blogger is Dr. Loomis, warning us that she's coming to Haddonfield. In this recent blog entry, it was stated she told people that among Maura's things, she discovered writing that had credit card info and the birth date of a man whom Maura was communicating with online. It was presumed to be the same person Julie spoke with. Aaron was accused of attempting to befriend this individual to get him talking. Of course, the blog ends with the possible connection of Maura's past use of stolen credit card info to order food while in college. I reached out to Erin regarding this. If she did reach out to this person, I wanted context. I asked if she ever tried to reach out to this person to befriend and if she acquired any such information of this person. Erin replied that none of these things happened. She did not reach out to him, nor did she acquire such information from Maura's things. Now, I know there will be people who won't believe Erin, no matter what. But consider this. You can't prove a negative. You can't prove that you didn't do those things if those things didn't happen, right? I mean, makes sense. However, I can also see how that can be conveniently thrown aside by saying, well, I mean, hey, that's just what someone told me. They told me that happened. Okay, well, maybe vet it and make sure that's what that person did. That's just my personal opinion on that, my personal conviction, because to me, that's pretty disingenuous and irresponsible. And finally, number 4. Don't create a Proton account to troll people. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, protonmail is an end-to-end encrypted email service founded in 2013 in Switzerland by scientists in a research facility. Basically, your email is untraceable. We have IP addresses. It's easy for us to find locations to find out. So if someone is doing something, they can be traced. So that's what protonmail, they get rid of that, so you're protected, so no one knows who you are, essentially. Because of this service, it's created radical trolling in this community, where people are accusing each other of being this particular troll that's going around. That's a story of its own. I'm sure a lot of you know it, but if not, someone has been trolling, threatening to kill people, not limited to law enforcement, pretending to be Maura Murray and contacting people, or at least one particular person. Also pretending to be other people in this community and saying really just hellacious things, just really disgusting things. And because of this, you get a lot of people pointing the finger at each other. And currently, as we speak, a civil suit is happening between 2 people long involved in this community. It's quite sad. I hate to see it. Now look, I believe in privacy, but whatever this person or these people are doing, it's not just about protecting an identity, it's protecting illegal behavior. Never a good idea, like I said, to threaten people, with murder, rape, whatever the case, especially law enforcement. That usually doesn't go over well. Look, I'm sure there's more that could be added to this list, but that's just currently what was on my mind. I appreciate you listening to my rambling, stumbling over words, but that's going to be it for now. Have a good one. Stay safe.